Recording cast.
Recording in progress.
Good
evening,
evening,
teacher.
teacher. How are you today?
Hello guys,
Emerson.
good evening to everybody.
Emerson,
Very
¿qué
glad
onda?
to read
How
you
are
guys
you?
this beautiful day. So ready? Are you ready?
Ready? Ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, how
Yes,
was
teacher.
your
Because it's Friday.
It's the last
Yeah, it's the last
day.
class for
The
us.
last day.
Yeah, for us
The
like
last day
Friday.
of
So yeah,
class.
Yes.
All right.
Today's
Ah,
Friday.
yeah.
órale.
Tomorrow is gonna be a different. Definitely, it's gonna be great. So, do you have some plans for weekend?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
definitely great.
God. Practice English.
Yes, practice.
Yeah, of course. So I just recommend watching
Oh my God. Me
a movie in
encanta
English, a series in
practicar.
English. So it's great to have fun watching a movie with the family. So,
Karaoke in English.
oh, of course, definitely. It's much better.
Teacher,
Um,
una película en inglés que nos recomiende.
well, I don't know. I don't know. It's about you. I mean, what kind of movie do you like? So you can also watch that. So all kind of movies. I don't have one specific. I don't watch too much like movies because of my time. But yeah, there are great movies that you can maybe search and also get it. So they are great movies. I don't have too much time for watching movies, but yeah, like, there are great movies definitely. So yeah, so it's actually great watching series too. Series on television, you know, is one of the best things in your free time, so you can have fun and also learn English too. It's a great combinations. So how was your day, guys? Tell me about your day. How was it? Was Ray busy, more relaxed? How was it? Tell me about
Was
it.
great. Was great, teacher.
I am tired, teacher.
Yeah, I imagine.
Este se sacó lo cansado, vive.
It's imagine. So
The
maybe
high
he
work.
works. He works a lot.
They see, I'm excited for this class.
No.
Yeah,
Every
of course you had to
day,
show
I
it.
work.
That's the way, definitely.
I'm excited,
Yeah,
teacher.
so we had to work about that.
Emerson is
So
tired for the class
yeah,
English.
and also because during this week you have been working hard, so the accumulation of a lot of activities is kind of normal. But tomorrow is Friday, so it's gonna be a great time for you. I hope so. When you and your family to have a good time, to enjoy a lot of things. So it's very necessary.
I feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
Ta-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. So, well, so let's start the class. Ready?
Teacher,
Yes.
hizo los 10, a ver.
Ready.
Yeah,
Ready,
okay,
teacher.
perfect. Let's go. So before that we start, I just always like have the opportunity to ask about the last class. So tell me, what did we study yesterday? Because I need to make sure that all of you remember what we did and also all the activities that we have developed as part of the feedback. So who wants to tell me what we did?
Request, indirect or indirect request. Yes?
Indirect request, right? Yes? Indirect request, yeah.
Yes.
What else do you remember? What else we did? So tell me, guys.
We used to call you and tell you. Can you tell? Could you tell?
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so we will continue, guys, working about the same activity because I know some of you who understood pretty good the topic, and also you develop some exercises very nice, very quick. And that's the way, because with the practice, we feel more comfortable, when we're studying a grammar structures at first and we are like, I don't understand, teacher, this is a little difficult. It's normal because we need to practice. We need to practice. We need to work with the exercises so you get more familiar with these exercises. So it's normal. The problem is that people see the grammar structures and they don't study. That's the problem. So it's clear when you don't understand. Or I don't understand, and you study the topic, you have a review, and that's good, no problem. But when you study a topic, you need to continue practicing 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times. After you practice, you will feel more confident in the way to use the grammar structures. So that's why it's very necessary to practice, wherever you are in your environment. Think about some sentences with the structure so you feel more confident with that. So we will continue, guys, working with this exercise. And because it's part of the review of the topics that we have studied previously. And we're going to complete these exercises. You can see here, we have the indirect request. And we have the first one. Does she speak Greek? I'd like to know, and also the compliment. Where is Joe? Do you know? What time does the show start? Do you have any idea? Will they be all right? I wonder. All right. What did he want? Would you mind telling me? And then you say, whose car was it? Whose car was it? Could you let me know? Is this the right train? Do you have an idea? The right train? When will they get married? I wonder. So think about it, because we can see here in this exercise that there are some other grammar structures. I want you to think about it, and also we go with the first one. Vamos a ir con la primera. We go with the first one, la terminamos todos y luego pasamos a la segunda. Okay? So I want you to think about the first one. It's actually pretty easy, and also we have a feedback. After we finish this one, we continue with the next one. And also, if you have questions about vocabulary, you had freedom to ask questions. Teacher Wellen, I don't understand this statement, or perhaps the word is not so common, or maybe the grammar structure, so you can also think about it. So take this time to complete the first part, and then we go on to the second one. If you have questions, you have freedom to ask questions. Okay, do you finish the first one? Yes? No? Hello, hello? No yet.
Not yet, teacher.
Oh, yeah, teacher.
Okay, so tell me please if you finished the first part, because we finished, we check the answers, and then we move on to the next answer.
I think we could start.
Okay, so Jaime finished. Okay, did we check the first part of the exercises? Yes? Say something. Hello? Are you there?
I'm there, teacher. Good evening.
Hello?
I'm
Hi.
here. Hi.
Okay, look at the
Okay.
first one. It says that should speak Greek. So how the complement would be? Help me with that, students. I'd like to know
If she speaks Greek,
if she speaks Greek. That's correct. That is a good choice too. I'd like to know if she speaks Greek. That's perfect. Thank you. And we see the next one. Where is Joe? What about the next one? Where is Joe?
Do you know where Joe is?
Do you know where Joe is, right? And that's correct. So we have the sentence. Excellent. Okay, next sentence. I'm sorry. I just moved that. So we can see here the possible answer. And also if she speaks Greek. We have two answers here. Okay, what about the next one? What time does the show start? What time does the show start?
Do you have any idea what time the show starts?
Let's see. Okay, do you have an idea?
What time?
Okay, let's see. What time the show?
Start.
There's something else. And we are missing something.
Stars.
Yes, because it's the third person. It's in singular. Yeah, that's right. So in that case is what time does the show start? That's correct. Let's see, and that is the way. Do you have an idea what time the show starts? And what about the next one? Will they be all right? Yes.
I wonder if they are all right.
If they
Are all right.
okay.
Will.
Will
If they will.
be all right. So we can see also because we're talking about future. So I wonder if they will be all right. So we can see the statement and the possible answer here. And we have the statement right here, the example. Okay, look at the next part. We go on to the next part. I will give you a couple of minutes to work in the second one. What did he want? Would you mind telling me whose car was it? Could you let me know if this is the right train? Do you have any idea? Will they get married? So look at that one and we are going to compare the answers together. Let's go and work in the second part. Okay, almost ready. The second part or not yet? So tell me about the second part. You're still working in the second part?
The first one maybe would be, would you mind telling me what he wanted?
Okay, so let's compare then. Let's see here. We're going to also check that one. And always respecting the grammar structure, because this is one of the advantage about these structures that we have to see. Well, what is the main verb if there is any auxiliary or something like that. So that's one of the parts that we had to focus, especially in a indirect request.
One, he wants. I'm a little confused with this. And can you explain
Look
it?
at this one. What did he want? So let's see. Would you mind telling me what?
He wanted.
Yes, that's right. Because in that case, and let's see.
This.
Yes, because this is the auxiliary. And remember that the indirect request, we don't need an auxiliary. And would you mind telling me what he wanted? So you can see here. It's as we say in Spanish, ¿te importaría decirme qué quería? So the examples we have here. And look at the next one. I'm sorry. Look at the next exercise. Whose card was it? Whose card was it? ¿Cómo sería la siguiente?
Probably let me know.
Okay, could you let me know? Could you let me know? What? What is this one?
Whose car was it?
That's right. Whose car it was?
Is what?
Yes, because in a direct equation, the verb goes before. So you can see here the example. Whose car it was?
Do you have any? Do you have an idea?
Okay, let's see then.
Do you have?
Yes. Is this the right train? En este caso, en anterior dice, whose car was it? ¿De quién era este carro? ¿De quién? En este caso, whose car was it? Could you let me know whose car it was? ¿Podrías decirme de quién era el carro? Entonces vemos ahí que ocupamos el whose. Is this the right train? ¿Es este el tren correcto? Do you have an idea?
An idea is whether this is the right train.
Okay, if this is
the right train.
okay, maybe if this is the right train, right? So actually maybe we can also think about it, right? So look at this color. the right train. And the last one, when will they get married? ¿Cuándo se casarán? I
I
wonder.
wonder when they will get married.
Okay, let's see. Yes, that's correct. So you can see here the right example, guys, about this one. Okay, so let's see here the next one. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next one. I don't know, nobody has said anything, or I don't know if you can ask a question or that's okay for you guys, this part.
Es más, bueno, a mí me queda un poco más claro.
It's about practice, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a little
definitely.
confused, teacher. It's
Yeah.
a little confused, but we try to.
You had to practice. I mean, I will send you some links that can help you to like reinforce this structure, because the goal is that you can also work with the verbs and don't use the auxiliaries, because in all of them you can see auxiliaries, but in that case we don't need to use auxiliaries. So we use the right word and the right verb. So it's about practicing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So let's see.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me, teacher. I was wondering what could be the difference between using whether or not using it.
But they are
In-
different. Whether or not is like if. Whether is similar to if. And what was the other you say?
If we use this or we doesn't use it. I'm sorry, don't use it.
I mean, but which one? Because
For
I don't know.
example, if you say, do you have any idea if whether or not this is the right train? Or if you say, do you have any idea if this is the right train, without using whether or not?
Ah, okay. Well, so in that case, when you say whether or not, it's como que sí o no, right? So in that case, do you have an idea if this is the right train? You were saying that?
Yes. It's
but this is part of the sentence, because do you have an idea? Es como que tienes alguna idea si este es el tren correcto. So if this is the right train. So the meaning are different. The meaning of each one is different.
okay.
And when you're using whether or not, you're saying that yes or not, but in equation, like we say if. Whether and if have the same meaning.
Okay. You are like trying to the other person have to say yes or not.
Ajá,
Can you say that?
do you have an idea if this is the right train? ¿Tienes una idea si este tren es correcto? So you are like asking. You are
In
asking.
general.
You ask. Ajá, you ask. Yes.
Okay.
That's right. En el otro, pues, whether or not es como que sí o no. Igual, es como que pregunta. Okay, look at the next one. Let's see. And pass it on speaking as part of the practice too. We're gonna go back with the previous exercise, and I want you to focus in this pronunciation. Look at this one. Write 5 unusual requests for your partner to pass on to classmates. For example, would you ask Jean Suk if she could lend me $100? Would you ask Jean Suk if she could lend me $100? Okay, what we had to do is that we had to write 5 unusual requests for your partner. And also you had to think about what question would you like to ask a partner, because we're going to work in pairs and we're going to ask these questions. So we are going to select a person from the group and you will ask the question, and the person or your classmate has to give an answer according to the examples. En este caso, usted le va a hacer 5 preguntas a su compañero acerca de algo. Por ejemplo, would you ask Jin Suk if she could lend me $100? Usted va a compartir esas 5 oraciones con sus compañeros. Por eso dice, ask your partner to pass on your request, go around to class and make your partner's request. Then tell your partner how people responded. Es decir, usted le va a hacer la pregunta y su otro compañero tiene que darle como una respuesta. Por eso dice, pregúntale a tus compañeros y pues haz las preguntas entre ellos, y en este caso pues le va a hacer usted la consulta y luego le va a decir a sus compañeros cómo se responde, cómo las personas responden o cómo respondieron. Por ejemplo, ok, I can help you with that, or I will be more than glad to help you. Entonces, quiero que piensen en 5 unusual requests y luego los vamos a compartir con los compañeros. Pero tiene que ser algo inusual. So, is that clear what we had to do with this activity?
¿Podría dar otro ejemplo de una oración inusual?
Las que están aquí. For example, we can see here the example like, could you lend me your Lamborghini, for example? Your Cadillac car. So you can see that one. And also, su compañero, ¿qué le va a responder? Would you ask Emerson if he could, borrow me his Cadillac, for example?
Yo diría, any idea.
Yeah, so your partner has to be creative. Or for example, you say to Carmen, would you ask Emerson if he could lend me $200 for a concert? So you had to think about these unusual questions. Or would you ask to, let's see, 1 second. Would you ask Morena if she could invite me to a dinner? So you can also share this question. Or would you tell Eduardo if he can invite the group to the movies? So you have another sentence. Or you say, for example, hey, and would you ask Eneida if she can bring us to the English party? So you can also write another sentence. Entonces va a escribir 5 requests y se las va a compartir a sus compañeros. That's what you had to do, right? ¿Y usted qué le va a decir? Como acaba de mencionar el nombre, pues, yes, I will ask. Oh, no, I won't. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. O ask yourself. Entonces usted le va a responder ahí a su manera. That's what we had to do. Is that clear what we had to do now?
Yes.
Excellent. So in that case will be 5 sentences for each student. Entonces, escriba 5 oraciones. En este caso, pues usted las va a formular utilizando el would you ask or would you tell. Okay, if you have any question about formulating the statements, you can also use the chat to do that one, right? So that would be very interesting. So if you can do it, if you still have some time, write the sentences in the chat so I can see them. If there's something that we can correct, so we can do that one too. So that's what it's gonna be a great strategy well, no, to make sure that you are writing the right statement. Entonces, si pueden, vayan escribiendo en el chat las oraciones y vamos a ir viendo, vamos a ir comparando si hay algo que hay que cambiarles o solo darles pues la aprobación. Thank you. I have some statements here. Would you ask your mom if she can make she can make me well, so I think we can change, like, would you ask your mom if she can cook, for example, or she can cook lunch on Sunday. So maybe we can also use that one, make me lunch on Sunday. Would you ask Karen if she could lend me her car? Okay. Could you tell the boss that I need money? Okay. Could you leave me? Could you leave me or could you give me a ride to the Marvin? Habría que modificarla. Depende si dice que la va a llevar al aeropuerto o va a viajar en avión. So how is that? Could you give me a ride to my work or could I travel? So try to change that. Of course, Naida, would you mind lending me Jamie your Lamborghini? Would you mind if you could ask Jane for his Lamborghini maybe?
I'm sorry, teacher. I wrote first one sentence. I wrote, would you ask Eneida? I need her to lend me her Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, so
And
entonces
then, yes, okay.
sepárela, yeah, separate it because that will be the main.
I didn't.
Sorry,
I'm so sorry
teacher.
because I didn't. Okay.
Don't worry. Would you
Sorry,
ask?
teacher, me equivoqué es que como estoy con el teléfono, tuve un error. Ya lo corrijo.
Okay, perfect. Would you ask Rachel if she lends me her house for a party? Yeah, it's good. Could you tell Caesar that I finished the midterm exams? Okay. Would you ask your mom if she can cook Sunday's lunch? Okay, makes sense to me. Would you ask Rachel if she could lend me her red jacket for the weekend? For a weekend? Good. Okay, so let's see. Would you tell Santiago that I need his underwater camera? No problema. Santiago, could you lend Jamie your underwater camera?
Sí, voy a
Could
trabajar
you,
el próximo
could you
sábado.
ask Santiago, or could you
Okay.
ask James
Yes, yes.
if he can borrow me the underwear camera? So esa última parte I don't understand. Like, Santiago, could you lend James your underwear camera?
Yes, I was wrong because I needed to write.
Could
Would you ask? Would you ask?
James to lend your underwater camera, or his
No
underwear
problem.
camera? Yeah, could you lend?
Could you
Okay.
lend?
Could you
lend me?
ask James,
Or
or could you to lend your underwater camera? Así podría ser. Could you ask James to lend your underwater camera, or his underwater camera? Could you lend the plane to go to work? Es como que podrías prestarme el aeroplano, el avión para ir a trabajar. Could you,
Yes.
pero esa es directa, esa es una oración directa. Tendría que ser, could you ask Daniel to
Okay.
board the plane to work? Entonces esa es direct statement. Okay, so let's see the other ones. Would you ask Santiago if he could borrow me $500? Excellent. Would you ask Emerson to help me with the platform exercises? Excellent too. Would you ask Elvis if she could lend, could you ask Elvis? Elvis is a man, so entonces sería Elvis if he could lend me the house for the party. For the party. En ese caso, would you ask Elvis if he could lend me his house for the party? So that will be the last one. Look at the next. Okay, let's see. We have some other statements here. Like, let's see. Okay, do you have an idea if she has a problem with her car? Okay. Could you tell Mom, I'm sick. Okay. Could you ask Elvis if he could cut my hair for free? Okay, excellent. Would you ask Santiago if she could lend me his Chicago Bulls cap,
His.
right? Could you
He.
ask Santiago if he could? En este
He.
caso es he, porque es
He.
Santiago.
Yes, she, no, she,
Oh,
his.
o para
His.
ella.
No, is he. If he.
Ajá,
Se
okay.
me fue she.
Okay. So,
He.
would you ask Santiago if he could lend me his Chicago Bulls cap? Entonces, en vez de yours, le voy a poner his.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
His.
Okay, so let's see the rest.
His. He. It's you.
Okay, let's see more examples about it. Would you ask, okay, daughter, could you ask that if he will pick me up at work? Okay, that's interesting too. Could you tell me if Morenita knows when the course ends? The course about education or course about something that people do like magic things. So it may be a spelling, coursed. And then the complement is actually great. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, are you ready? That's actually great. Vamos a pasar la asistencia because of the time. You know, the time is going so fast, definitely, that I didn't feel the time. So if you just allow me one moment, please, I'm just going to make sure that all of you have been here in the class practicing actively. And, you know, you can see that those exercises are very important because the goal is that we feel familiar using them and the practice, so you can see the mistakes, what words we can include. But I can see that the last sentences that you have written are excellent. So this is the strategy. The strategy is to work in the exercises, right? 4, 5, 6 times sentences, so you feel more confident. And it's something interesting that you can take into account. Let's see. Okay, Brigitte Lisette Erazo. Brigitte. Carmen Guadalupe Escamilla. Carmen. César Alexander Ramírez.
I am here, teacher.
Thank you. Dina Elizabeth Flores.
Present, teacher, present.
Thank you. Edith Araceli Guzmán.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. Eduardo Alexander Díaz.
Present teacher.
Elvis Aníbal Rauda.
Present, teacher.
Emerson Alexander Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. Neida Yamilet González.
Present, teacher.
Jaime Roberto Aldana.
Present.
Javier Ernesto Lucero.
Present.
Karen Zuleima Ciseña.
Present.
Laura Michelle Arce.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. María Catalina Correa. Maria. And Marvin Fernando Marcel.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. Morena Guadalupe Fuentes.
Present, teacher.
Oscar Alberto Rodríguez.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. Raquel Arely Santos.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. Santiago Antonio Chávez.
Present, teacher.
Thanks. Sara Nalda Guzmán. Okay, thanks. All right, so let's see more statements here. So we have, let's see.
Teacher.
Tell me.
Astronomer at NASA, and she was one of.
Tell me. Hello? Carmen. She says
Carmen
present.
y Eneida.
Carmen. Okay, let me see. Carmen. Let me check. Carmen Guadalupe. She says present.
Eneida.
See, someone else? Someone else is missing there. Okay, just that. Eneida Jamilet.
Present.
Okay. Yeah, I think we are here. Let's see. Yes, it's already done. Okay, how do you feel now with the structure? It's like more, comfortable after that we have worked in the exercises. Ya queda un poquito más clara la estructura. How do you feel about it?
No sentí la clase,
Yes.
me gusta. Aprendí más.
Yeah, it's about practice. Ese cuando es práctica, pues es mucho mejor. Fuimos al grano con la estructura. Como sabemos que en el inglés, pues no nos podemos quedar solo en una skill, sino que hay otras. Y pues es de ir jugando con todas las habilidades. So that's why. The next week, we're going to be working with listening. And also, I will share, guys, some links that I want you to take as part of the practice. Les voy a compartir unos enlaces adicionales por si ustedes tienen tiempo para que es puro listening. Entonces, les voy a dejar esos enlaces por si usted tiene algún espacio libre. Cada listening, pues, dura que unos 3 minutos lo más, 2, 3 minutos. Entonces le va a ayudar para mejorar mucho el entendimiento y sobre todo para enfocarse en el acento. Ya que pues en inglés es así. Es como en nuestro idioma. Lo hablamos todo el tiempo. We speak Spanish all the time, 24/7. Even though we're sleeping, all the time we use Spanish. And I ask you, do you have the complete domain of Spanish? What do you think? Do you consider you have the complete domain about Spanish? ¿Creen ustedes que tienen un dominio total del español?
No. En gramática.
So.
and you're native Spanish speakers. Imagine we are native Spanish speakers. And also, as a very important detail, English grammar is easier than Spanish grammar. Spanish grammar is more complex. If you don't believe me, it's more difficult because the structures change a little bit. Also, the vocabulary used, the grammar rules in Spanish are more challenging. For example, in Spanish, we have the accent, as we call la tilde, por ejemplo, las esdrújulas, las graves. So in that case, in the case of English, we have the phonetics, but Spanish is more complex than English. So feel comfortable because we can learn English in a fast way. Okay, students, we're about to finish the class. So we hope to see you the next week. Try to enjoy your weekend with your family, with your friends. Try to take a lot of energy because we will need it for the next week. And we have completed our second week. So don't forget to finish the exercises about the number 3 and the midterm, because for this week, we had to work with the midterm and also with the third topic or unit, as I could say. Entonces, no se les olvide haber completado los ejercicios de la segunda semana, ya que es de bastante importancia que los tengamos. Recordemos que para la segunda semana era completar la lección 3 y el midterm exams, ¿ok? So, I hope to see you and have a beautiful night to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.
Good job,
Bye.
you weekend.
Good night.
Bye,
You
guys.
too. Have a nice weekend.
You.
Enjoy your
Bye.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
You too. Thank you.